Welcome back. I'm a Jester in Black, and it's that time again. What time, you might ask? Story time. Where we do all the story-related things that aren't the battle. So, if you don't want to see
As all
that,
of you have committed a breach of faith, the Archbishop will now pass judgment.
skip directly to the next video. But if you're interested in the story, stick around for a while, and just watch this one.
Inciting a kingdom noble to rebel. Unlawful entry. The attempted assassination of the Archbishop. An attack on the Holy Mausoleum. It is unnecessary to go on, followers of the Western Church.
What? We have nothing to do with the Western Church.
You have already been identified. Please spare us your second-rate theater.
Dishonoring a holy ceremony is worthy of death for a member of the Church. You are well past the hope of redemption. If you have any grace remaining, you will willingly offer your life as atonement for this crime.
No! This isn't what we were told would happen! We've been deceived!
It's no use arguing. Whatever your excuse, the punishment stands. May your souls find peace as they return to the goddess.
Wait! Please! The goddess would never forgive you for our execution!
Monster. We know you've already slaughtered many of our fellow brethren like this.
This concludes the investigation. Please remove these poor lost souls from my sight.
There you have it. It seems the assassination attempt and the attack on the Holy Mausoleum were all the work of the Western Church. As for the masked knight who led the attack, I'm afraid his whereabouts are yet unknown.
It makes no sense that the Western Church would try such a thing.
It just goes to show that the Church of Seros is not completely united. The Church is led by those here at Garreg Mach, and the Western Church doesn't have a strong voice on its governing council. I imagine the Western Church has harbored some resentment toward the Central Church for a while now.
I've never heard of either of these things, apparently.
Ah, that's right. Geralt did say that you grew up outside the influence of the Church. The Church of Seros is split into a few branches across Fodlan, the largest being the Central Church, which is headquartered right here at Garreg Mach. The Western Church lies far to the west of Castle Gaspar, where Lord Lonato held his rebellion. It's situated on the far side of the kingdom's most impressive fortress, Arian Road. I imagine the Western Church's intention was to eliminate Lady Rhea and the Central Church's authority along with her. Naturally, the Knights will be riding out to question the Western Church's top officials. Or rather, to punish them.
When they do, Your Highness, we will likely be asked to help carry out said punishment.
Indeed. Now, I don't mean to be rude, Professor, but I must say your situation is rather unusual. For someone to grow up in Fodlan and yet never have any contact with the Church of Seros it's hard to believe.
I wonder why the Archbishop would hire someone like that as a professor.
So, those people from the Western Church were... Lady Rhea had them killed, didn't she?
Well, of course she did. Going against the teachings of Seros like that, quite unforgivable.
That's exactly what a church assassin would say.
Those who stray must be punished, I suppose. That said, Professor,
There you are, Professor. It seems Lady Rhea would like a word with you. Come with me.
The Archbishop lives. Not that I had ever placed much faith in those swine from the Western Church.
I have news, both good and bad. The remains of Seros were not in a tomb. However, something else was. The Sword of the Creator.
Ah, the weapon wielded by that thief, the King of Liberation.
So this guy in the mask and the Death Knight are definitely working together, because the Death Knight was the only one there who saw the sword and got away. Either that or this guy can turn invisible.
Thief. Huh. At any rate, it is now in the hands of the Academy's new professor. I doubt you will be surprised to hear that the crest stone had already been removed from the sword when it was found.
As expected. It would be foolish to keep both in the same location.
There's more. The Professor was able to awaken the sword's true power. Even without the crest stone, the sword glowed red. The Professor's crest is compatible. There is no mistaking it.
Absurd. Using a relic without its crest stone should be impossible. The King of Liberation's bloodline should not even...
They must be allowed to keep it, for now. I do not have enough information about the Professor to act.
So, it looks like Byleth is a descendant of the guy that Saros killed in the opening cutscene.
As for your request, I assent. The Death Knight is at your command. Use him well.
Good. I believe I will enjoy this a great deal.
I cannot thank you enough for defeating those invaders in the Holy Mausoleum, and especially for protecting the Sword of the Creator. That sword is one of the hero's relics, and the most precious artifact in the Church's possession. It is also a weapon of terrifying power. For now, I will entrust the sword to you. Please, use it wisely.
Lady Rhea, wait! Do you truly mean to give the Sword of the Creator to this stranger?
I promise I won't be like Morgan and use it to cut my oranges.
Surely it is not the sort of thing one hands over so readily, even to someone who has the ability to wield it. If someone like Nemesis were to appear again, all of Vodland would be consumed by war. Nemesis, the King of Liberation. He is an ancient king of mankind who was defeated by Saros over 1,000 years ago. When Fodlan was attacked by wicked gods, it is said that the goddess gifted Nemesis with the Sword of the Creator. Nemesis used that sword to defeat the wicked gods, saving all of Fodlan. Henceforth, he was dubbed the King of Liberation. However, his power began to corrupt him until he himself turned to the darkness. Saint Saros was forced to destroy him. Lady Rhea, I beg you to reconsider. Given a little more time, we could more accurately assess this stranger's abilities.
I think that Seteth wants the sword for himself.
No. I have faith, Seteth. Faith that our friend here will not be corrupted by wickedness. Since the death of Nemesis, none have been able to wield the Sword of the Creator. Now, after all those long years of being sealed away, it has returned and found a new master.
I understand. As you wish, Lady Rhea. There you have it, Professor. See that you do not betray the trust the Archbishop has seen fit to bestow upon you.
The Sword of the Creator? The King of Liberation? Each tale is more confusing than the last. And I really can't read that Rhea at all. That sword is clearly precious. So why is she so keen to gift the thing to you? Is that a fact? I feel as though we have become entangled in a mystery. And there is one more thing that has been plaguing me. The Sword of the Creator. It somehow feels distinct from other relics we have seen. Such as the one that... Oh goodness, what was her name?
Catherine.
Yes, her! The Sword of the Creator is different from her Thunderbrand in one key way. It bears a hole, where something should have been, but is no more. I despise not knowing what is going on. It frightens me. And yet, I place my trust in you. I must.
Not knowing what's going on and having a mystery is part of the fun of an adventure, you know?
Whatever comes to pass, please swear to cut a path that is your own.
Part 1. White Clouds. Verdant Rain Moon. Tower of Black Winds. The ceaseless rains that satiate the verdant landscape of Fodlan are accompanied by fierce winds and mighty roars of thunder. This abundance of rain, sparkling as it falls against beams of emerging sunlight, is a constant reminder to the people of Fodlan that nature is ever wild and unpredictable. For when the rain finally does take pause, the clouds part and give way to a glorious rainbow.
I feel like there's some story significance to these art pieces, but it would probably take a while to go in and decode their meaning. And you'd probably have to beat the game and know what's going on before you could do that first, too.
I have a new mission for you, Professor. I would like for you to take your students into Kingdom territory to eliminate some thieves.
They stole a hero's relic from House Gautier of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, the Lands of Ruin. Their
Isn't that
leader's name is
Sylvain's
Miklan.
house?
He is apparently a disowned son of House Gautier. I believe it had something to do with his lack of a crest. Such happenings are fairly common within the kingdom.
The Crestless cannot unleash the goddess's power even if they possess a relic. Nonetheless, they are still capable of simply wielding those weapons.
The hero's relics are immensely powerful weapons. We must meet this threat with adequate force. Unfortunately, most of the Knights of Seiros are away from the monastery, purging the apostates of the Western Church. So we are entrusting you with this mission. After all, you wield the Sword of the Creator, which is more than capable of opposing any relic.
So at this point, it looks like we're going to start going on a relic hunt. Which, I mean, it's sort of grab this plot convenient item, but at the same time, it's a practical item that you actually want and would be able to use effectively. So I think that's alright.
The Sword of the Creator is a powerful weapon well beyond the other relics. You have nothing to fear. However, to ensure that no harm comes to the students, we will also send the monastery's most skilled individuals to aid you.
You mean to steal my experience?
I must remind you that you are expected to conduct yourself in a manner befitting the wielder of that holy sword. Also, you should know that Professor Hanneman has been looking for you. That is all.
I heard about our mission for this month. So, we are to eradicate thieves in Kingdom territory. I'm sorry for dragging you into the Kingdom's petty squabbles. This should not be your burden to bear, but my own. Thank you, Professor. Hearing you say that puts my mind at ease.
Your Highness? Ah, it's been ages!
That's Felix's dad.
It's been a long time. 2 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed, Your Highness. You've grown so much in those years, I hardly recognize you.
This is Rodrigue, an old friend of my father's. I believe I've mentioned him, if you recall. When my father died 4 years ago, he looked after me as though I were his own son.
Ha ha! You flatter me, Your Highness. It was my honor to care for such a fine young man. It's nice to finally meet you, Professor. My son, Felix, has mentioned you on occasion.
What brings you to the monastery, Rodrigue? Is it the thieves plaguing the kingdom?
I'm afraid so. This is not merely a problem for House Gautier, but for everyone. The thieves have set up their headquarters in Fraldarius territory, and are mercilessly pillaging the villagers of that area. You have our full support in stopping those dastards. I thank you for your help, both of you.
So it sounds like we're going to get villages in this next map that we have to protect from probably brigand-class units. So it's nice to see that returning in this game.
Good of you to come, Professor. I've heard much about you lately. Specifically, that you are able to awaken the Sword of the Creator's power. Thusly, it seems the true nature of your crest has been uncovered. I had, of course, seen your crest before. However, at first, I failed to recognize its true nature. Eventually, it dawned on me that what is visible is perhaps merely a small part of a greater whole. In other words, your crest is too significant to be detected when using normal instruments. After this discovery, I began researching crests that might fit that description, which allowed for a temporary hypothesis. However, I could not be certain. The crest my conclusions led me to was far too unusual. A crest thought to have disappeared from this world in the millennium since the fall of Nemesis, the King of Liberation. The crest of flames. That is what you possess.
Is it the Fire Emblem?
Your ability to wield the Sword of the Creator has unequivocally proven my hypothesis. A legendary power, dormant since time immemorial and now resurrected. There can be no doubt that this ancient power resides within you.
Thank you for your invitation. To what do I owe this surprise?
A lack of funding.
Thank you. It's good. Huh? Yeah. Oh.
She doesn't like cats.
Nah. Oh.
I've ruined her birthday. I should feel sad.
Thanks for the treat. Come by the infirmary anytime you need anything. I'll be waiting, Professor.
So I still got support ranks up. Alright, so this would be a good time to explore because I can get the meal bonus. Also, there is some new facility unlocked. I'll just skip the fishing on the, what, 4th Sunday month? Do the battle on the 5th. And the 5th. Right, pick them up.
Professor. Geralt was looking for you. It seems he has gone off somewhere. If he is not in his room, then surely someone has seen him. Ask around. I have something to ask of you. I have something to ask of you.
You must be rather bewildered by the power that was hidden within. However, know that I believe in you. I have no doubt that you will use that power justly. You will most certainly fulfill the grand destiny that the goddess has seen fit to grant you. May I ask a favor of you?
Oh, Professor, are you looking for Captain Gerald? I just saw him in the Knight's Hall a little while ago. He was talking with a female knight, but I didn't get a good look at who she was. Hey, I hope we get a chance to practice. I know I'm in a...
Still can't recruit it yet. I probably need to be at least level 10. The next tier up. Or maybe it actually scales with, like, the chapter you're in. I'm not sure.
Oh my! The crest of flames? Could it really? Yes, the actual crest of flames! Ha ha ha! No, that is quite enough. I should compose myself. I must remain objective in my research. Objective, professional. The scandal with the Western Church troubles me. We cannot afford to let ourselves be swept along, and yet...
Don't you think Professor Hanneman's been acting a bit strange? Maybe he's made some kind of big discovery.
Have you seen a man who looks like me? He's middle-aged and relatively tall. If you get the chance, tell him I've gone out, okay?
Hey, I heard about the things you did. I'm so glad Lady Ray is safe. I figure you're a great person after all, Professor.
So, Cyril finally likes me. That's nice.
There. Hey, Teach, I hear you were able to use the Sword of the Creator. That means... What does that mean? Could it mean that you're a descendant of Nemesis, the King of Liberation? Hey there.
Okay. I've had a chance to spar with Gilbert of the Knights of Seros before. I couldn't get a single strike in. If that man is accompanying you on your assignment, you can rest assured that no harm will come to you. To be honest, he kind of reminds me of someone. But no, it must be my imagination, right?
Well...
Right. You guys have it bad in your own way. But believe me when I say we've got it bad too. With all that happened last month, a great many knights were dispatched to the Western Church. And now we must set out for the Eastern Church, located in the far east of the Leicester Alliance. If I must die in Alliance territory, I wish it wasn't in the mountains in the middle of nowhere. I'd much rather go on a sightseeing trip to Deirdre.
In before we find out there's a northern church and a southern church as well.
Oh, you don't know? Deirdre is House Regan's domain. It's called the Aquatic Capital.
Time for Failing at Advising Students, Part 3. That went better than the previous times.
What? Right. So the whole plan to attack the monastery was some plot devised by the Western Church? That means they used Lenato. What right do they have to drag a good man like him into their schemes? There's going to be a big investigation into the Western Church soon. I wish I could be a part of it. I want to hear for myself why Lenato had to die. So the whole plan... That means they used... What right... I wish I could... I want to hear... Oh, thank you.
Professor, you looked like a natural wielding the sword of the Creator. It's strange, though, isn't it? The last owner of the sword was Nemesis, but I thought he didn't have any descendants.
Say, I hear that a knight of Seros named Gilbert will be joining us for our mission this moon. He is skilled, which is surely a boon for us. Still, that was not very thoughtful of Lady Rhea. No, it's nothing. In any case, you should at least introduce yourself to him before we depart. House Gautier is Sylvain's home. It would be nice of you to check on him as well.
I know Lord Rodrigue. He paid repeated visits to His Highness after the previous king was killed.
Mercedes. Her face looks familiar.
His hair and her hair match, so maybe they're related as well. Dimitri's by far our best lancer.
You never had a chance.
Can probably get by without killing him.
I must stay focused. Over already.
So I can take 2 hits. Also take 2 hits. If I didn't want to heal, I'd be banking on that 97.
Is that all?
The odds of winning this aren't great. But they're above 50% in that area. Don't miss.
He never had a chance.
So, you have a crest too, eh, Professor? Does that mean you're descended from nobility? You've certainly got the look for it. I sure do wish there were more nobles like you, Professor. A teacher, a mercenary, and so very mysterious. How could a girl ever get enough?
You and your class were at that fight in the Holy Mausoleum, right? I sincerely hope the holy artifacts are unscathed. I admit I wish I could have been there to see it all, even if it does make me queasy. But I was there too early. I'd gone first thing in the morning. At noon, one of the monks chased me out, saying I'd been there too long. Who were they to decide when I've been somewhere too long?
Not possible. Hey, Professor, did you happen to see that man I was looking for earlier? I just spotted him by the dining hall, but then he ran away. To be honest, he's my father. He's using a different name now, but there's no mistaking it. It's him. I know it is. Father, I found you at last. Thank you so much.
I appreciate your effort.
So Sir Gilbert is Annette's father.
Aristocrats are fools, allowing their lives to be dictated by their crests. Though, I suppose I am much the same in that regard.
I thought school life would be peaceful and quiet, with a sprinkle of drama to keep things interesting. But since you arrived, it's been one thing after another. Is that just a coincidence, I wonder? What do you mean? I don't like the way you said that. Stop trying to spook me!
That reminds me. The Leicester Alliance is governed through roundtable conferences between the 5 most prominent allied dukes, the 5 Great Lords. First and foremost is Duke Regan, the Alliance's leader. Joining him are the heads of House Goneril, House Gloucester, and House Ordelia. Lastly, there is the newest addition, Margrave Edmund. These 5 each have voting power in the conferences. Before House Edmund, it was House Daphne that was counted amongst the 5. However, it is said that the head of that family relinquished their vote to House Edmund, which had only recently risen to significance.
Wonder what the grounds for that were. If Edmund just like took over their territory and forced them to cave, or
Hey,
politics
Professor,
were interesting.
don't you think everyone's making too big a fuss over these crests, or heroes' relics, or whatever they're called? How important can that stuff really be? Personally, I don't even care that I don't have a crest. I'll take muscles over crests any day. Heck, I'll take muscles over a hot meal.
Actually... You think I'd cheat? On you, baby? Never. Come on. You should know me better than that. You're the only one for me. I swear. Hey, if you don't believe me, well... Oh, I get it. If I'm not your type, do you want me to introduce you to some other guys who have crests? They're all nobles, just like me.
What? That isn't why I'm... You're worse than I thought!
I just want you to be happy. You know, get what you're after. I hate seeing a girl cry, especially one as beautiful as you. So, you know, maybe we... So, Professor, do you enjoy spying on people? You look like you've got something to say, so say it.
You get an F in relationships.
Hey, that was between me and her, not you. But you know how it is. Most relationships, they end in heartbreak. Anyway, I don't know why she's so upset about me dating other girls. She didn't care before she found out, so why does she care now? I really do hate seeing a girl cry. I swear it's the truth. My heart's in a million pieces right now. It's just the worst. Well, I figure the best way to mend a broken heart is to head out on the town. Why don't you join me? Who knows? Maybe you'll find love. I mean, I know I will. Calm down, it was only a joke. You've really got no sense of humor, you know that?
A stone? A stone. I do not understand. Yet, as I think of it, the pounding in my chest grows faster still. But is that me? Or is it you?
That's so.
I'm not secretly eating cake.
Okay. What's Bernie doing right now?
Oh, fine. You got me. But keep it a secret, all right? I've been looking for this. Thank you so much. Sorry.
It's awful. Just awful what happened with the rite of rebirth. The infirmary. Well, it was a mess. Things are finally calm again, and so I've come here to unwind. Let me tell you, I put all of my knowledge to use keeping those kids alive. Still, the truth of it is that when someone faces death for the first time,
well, they figure out who they are. They learn if they can do it again. We can't lose them, Professor. Not to battle or to cowardice. If you can keep them going, then I will too.
Hi.
Oh. Why is that fish so still? Wait, is it swimming sideways? Perhaps it is resigned to its woeful fate of being plucked from the water and eaten.
Ah, Professor, you are so outgoing with all of the students. I would like to have more opportunities to connect with you, though I'm certain my brother would disapprove. Might you help me with a favor?
Is that connecting, or is that doing a chore for her?
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Oh, come to think of it, last month there was something to report, wasn't there? Thanks to you, I hear that everything was resolved. I never realized that bandits had entered. I'm not a great guard after all, am I? I hope you will forgive me one day.
It's okay. I'll pick up the slack.
I could use your help.
Would you help me out? Knew I could count on you. Hey there.
We can finally repair weapons. Expensive, is it? Plus, does the cost scale within uses? 7 to 24 to 30. I guess we should wait until they break. If it's, yeah. So the cost doesn't scale with how depleted the weapon is, it seems to be flat. So
Is this it?
waiting till they completely break is probably the best way to go.
There you go.
And it basically lets you get old weapons back at a discount. Let's try forging something. Ideally, hand axe or javelin that has high uses left. Have to get higher professor level to do more than just javelin plus. I think it's one additional height. The weapons get +2. Cost isn't that much higher.
Is this it? There you go.
How does it cost more to repair? And X plus. This is the seems to have difficulty dealing enough damage to kill enemies. So, forging a weapon would probably be a good investment.
Is this it? There you go.
And it also repairs all the durability of the weapon when you forge it too, it looks like, so that's good. Basically, if you roll the cost of forging in as a repair cost to a semi-depleted weapon, it ends up being a much better deal. And you can upgrade iron weapons to higher tier weapons, it looks like, as well as just Iron Lance pluses. However, the weight increases significantly.
Is this it?
Iron plus in this case.
There you go. Come back anytime.
What do you require?
We do have some magic options for AoE attacks. And they give pretty good defensive bonuses. Already used it. Looks like so they're probably mount locked. Maybe they're not. Oh. Huh, so I guess he can use mounted battalions. I don't know if it's worth spending gold on these at the moment. I don't really use them that often, except for to get authority experience passively.
Welcome.
Have new items?
Please come again.
What about new weapons?
Welcome.
So gauntlets have the brave weapon effect. Is going to be very powerful, but the might of them isn't that good. And they are only one. I'm going to try those out at some point, but I'm not sure exactly what the best. Probably after I get like max ranks in axes for most of my armor knights.
Hail, Professor. If I may introduce myself, I am Gilbert. My life has been spent as a dedicated knight. I am to accompany you on your assignment. I may have slowed a step in recent years, but I pledge to you the full extent of my abilities. I beg your pardon, but such is my nature.
And he can train you in heavy armor riding.
Wow, Lord Rodrigue in the flesh. What is Felix doing? This is such a rare opportunity for him to see his family.
I have heard that someone from House Gautier, one of the Kingdom of Fargus's noble families, is causing some sort of commotion. What a complete disgrace to the nobility.
I don't recall...
For a hero's relic to be stolen, it's unheard of.
And just last month, the sword of the Creator was almost stolen too.
Also quite unheard of. What impudence.
Some people are unhappy because they don't have the crest they want. And some are unhappy because they have a crest they never asked for.
The coffin of Saros in the Holy Mausoleum should have held her remains. Instead, they say it held the sword of the Creator. What could it mean?
Her skeleton got up and decided to go for a walk, you know?
The head of the Western Church holds the title of bishop. That's not as distinguished as an archbishop, such as Lady Rhea, but it still comes with a fair amount of authority. If someone in that position plotted an assassination, I cannot help but think it must have been instigated by some outside force. There are bishops in the Eastern Church as well, but to speak frankly, they do not have much impact. They are under the influence of both the Archbishop and the Leicester Alliance, so their ability to voice grievances is quite limited.
Oh, Gerald? He said something about visiting a grave. There's a graveyard attached to the monastery, so you'll probably find him there. I can't remember where the graveyard is, but I bet Sedith knows.
Professor, have you seen my son, perchance? I have need of him. Is that so? That is too bad. I must ask him not to distract you, Professor, nor His Highness from the matter at hand.
Hey,
I'm so sorry my older brother is causing you all this hassle, Professor. Don't misunderstand. I always thought he was a piece of garbage. But I never thought he'd steal the relic. I can't wait to see his face when he realizes I'm in the group that was sent to take him down.
Oh, that man I walked past earlier. That wasn't Lord Rodrigue, was it? House Fraldarius is a powerful noble family, linked to the founding of Fargus. Lord Rodrigue, its current leader, is a magnificent warrior. He's known as the Shield of Fargus. A dozen or so years ago, during the Northern Campaign in Strang, he performed splendidly as the king's right hand. Come to think of it, wasn't there someone from House Fraldarius amongst this year's students?
I have never had goings to the kingdom's north. I hear the people of North are cold and have much loneliness. Professor, I hear you have worked as a mercenary in the kingdom. Did you find joy in this? You cannot remember? Is that having possibility? I have amazement.
Professor, I'm gonna keep training until I can beat you. Yeah, that's definitely mine. You really...
Hey.
Professor?
Hey, I wanted to ask you to join me, but I couldn't find you. So, here I am. I was thinking we should visit your mother. She's resting beneath this humble grave. Oh, of course you would ask that. I wouldn't know where to begin. I suppose I haven't talked much about her. She was gentle and smart. Oh, so smart. A wonderful cook. Always kind to everyone. And she loved flowers. Whenever I brought her back an unusual flower, her face would light up. I cherish those memories. I can't count how many times she made me happy just by smiling. And she smiled the most when she was pregnant with you. She died right after you were born. She wasn't able to spend much time with you, but she loved you with all her heart. That's the truest thing I know. Never forget it. This ring is the only keepsake I have of her. In time, it will be yours. One day, I hope you'll give this ring to someone you love as well as I love her.
Well done. You have my thanks.
That was 21 years ago.
Oh.
You acquitted yourself honorably last month. To think they'd go into the Holy Mausoleum and assault the Goddess Tower. I cannot imagine the Western Church was acting on its own. Someone must have been helping them. As for the masked knight who escaped, his days are numbered. I hope we find him soon, so I can kill him myself. Need something, Professor? I'm on an important mission for Lady Rhea. Until that's done, I can't offer any help.
Oh.
You have helped me so much.
Need something?
Defense and resistance max +5 as the final bonus. I value defense and resistance pretty highly. Is it better to focus one to try to go for that maximum boost, or is it better to go for the experience boosts? Early on, I kind of suspect experience is the way to go.
This one? You're all set. 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 This one?
That one. Am I all set?
You're all set. This one? You're all set. This one? You're all set.
I wish they gave him a little bit of variety in his lines. Class XP +1 is probably pretty good. But I'm gonna try to go all the way down the index tree.
This one? You're all set. This one? You're all set. See
you again soon.
Like there's just 400. I don't think I can go over there. Go close by.
Professor.
Thank you, Lady Bernadetta. I will take my leave.
Oh, good. Bye! Goodbye! Finally. Oh, that was awful. Just terrifying. Ah! Please don't sneak up on me like that! That lady asked me to show her around. I tried to be polite, but strangers are just so nerve-wracking. Now that you mention it, I think you're right. I don't know if I ever have felt scared around you. I wonder why. You know, Professor, you might be the first person I've been able to speak to normally since I got here, and I have no idea why. I'm happy about it too. When we first started out here, we had to do drills. Outside. I skipped those every chance I got. It's a terrible idea going out in the forest with all these people you don't even know. Thanks to you, though, I can actually make it through class now. I'm grateful for that. I don't know what I'd do if you weren't here. Sorry. I'm okay. I am okay. I'm doing just fine. I feel safe here, thanks to you. What? That crosses the line, Professor. Singing? Me? Why would I be singing? I'd never be singing. I've never been so humiliated. Useless, worthless, unmarriageable. Oh no! Please tell me that wasn't the pin!
What was that noise?
To-do! Well, as you can see, the pan kind of exploded. Just a little.
How did you manage that?
I looked away for a moment and the pan just went boom! Ugh, I'm grateful nothing caught fire, but now the kitchen is a mess.
Are you hurt?
Oh, no, I just got a little spooked. I really lucked out, didn't I? That could have turned out much worse.
Indeed. But do not turn your back next time. Your life could depend on it.
Right. Sorry. I'll be more careful from now on.
Let me help you.
Huh?
I will help you clean up.
No, I can't let you do that. This is all my fault. You shouldn't have to help me.
I have time. Let us fix this quickly. We will need to prepare more food before the others arrive at the dining hall.
Oh, you're right. So, after we clean up, you're also gonna help me cook?
You object?
Of course not. I'm just so sorry to bother you with this.
Wow, Ash, training again? You're taking this whole knight thing pretty seriously.
It's just my daily training. Maybe you could stand to be a little more eager yourself? If I want to be a great knight, I've got no choice but to put the effort in.
No choice? I think you're making life too difficult. Knights don't have to be perfect. All I'm saying is, I've seen some pretty sloppy knights out there.
That's not going to be me. I'm going to be a proud knight, virtuous and gallant.
virtuous and gallant? Are you kidding me? If you just ride around being virtuous, people will get fed up. They'll boot you out of town.
It's never wrong to have virtue, not even if it means being made an outcast.
Interesting idea. You think very highly of this whole virtue thing. Say, have there been any knights who became great just by thinking highly of themselves? Think on this. Knights are supposed to protect people and earn their admiration. Isn't that right?
Well, yes. So what are you saying I should do?
Seize people's hearts!
What do you mean?
You want people to love you? Offer them something they haven't got. Guess what that is? It's you, Ash. They don't have you. Get out there, buddy. Be valiant. Help people. Here, I'll show you how it works.
Sylvain, don't go bothering people.
Hey there, cutie. You seem to have lots of bags there. They must be heavy. My name's Sylvain. Let me help you out. Are these going in the warehouse?
Helping out those in need, I guess that's a good start.
No thanks necessary. It's been enough just to be able to talk to you. Well, if you insist. How about we go get some tea? It must be fate that we met like this. I'd like to get to know you.
Great night, huh? More like a great philanderer. Seems like all he wants to do is flirt with women. No, I can't allow this. I have to stop him.
Mercedes, you look divine as always. Are you off to pray?
Oh, hello, Sylvain. I was just on my way to pray. How did you guess?
Well, because I've been watching your lovely...
Oh, I get it. You're the type who's always looking at girls, aren't you?
I won't lie, I do enjoy beholding women, but I don't mean it like that with you. I know I sound like a dope. I think you're special.
Oh, really? You think I'm so clumsy that I need someone to watch over me. Is that why you can't take your eyes off me?
You're beautiful, and I mean that. You're... how can I put it without sounding even worse? Okay, here goes. I want to get to know you better. As friends, I mean.
I don't know where to begin.
Well, what's something you like?
I like to pray. I've been praying regularly since I was a child.
You grew up in the Empire, didn't you?
That's right. I was raised in House Bartels.
Bartels? I thought you were born to House Martreats.
It's a complicated story. I'm not sure that it's a very interesting one, but I'm happy to share it with you.
I don't mean to be nosy, if it's too personal.
Oh no, I don't mind. I wasn't trying to hide anything from you. House Martreats fell shortly before I was born.
Oh.
My father passed away while my mother was still pregnant with me, so she had nowhere to go. After I was born, my mother ended up marrying the head of House Bartels. Shortly after, my mother bore a true Bartels child who bore a crest. She and I were treated as though we were no longer useful to the family after that.
You think the Bartels were just using her to secure a crest?
They must have been. My mother and I were removed from the family and forced to flee to a church in the kingdom. I abandoned the Bartels name and took up our old family name again.
So you grew up in a church. Okay, it makes more sense now why you're praying all the time.
Yes, Oh, praying! I forgot that I was on my way to pray.
Right, and I interrupted you. Well, see you around, Mercedes.
Yes, see you.
House Bartels wanted a crest and ruined other people's lives to get one. These idiots are all the same.
So that's an interesting implication of magic inheritance, that people will basically use someone who has the correct bloodline to try and acquire power.
Nightfall? Already? Suppose I'd better wrap up.
Good work with your training today, Ingrid. Here's something to wipe up the sweat.
Whoa, Mercedes. Hi. Hello. How long have you been... Thank you.
You're very welcome. I've been here since you started.
That long? Huh. Well, my apologies for not having noticed you. I get so caught up in training, you know. But why are you here? I can't imagine it was too terribly interesting watching me.
I disagree. I just couldn't help but admire your training technique. I have to say, you were very impressive. I'm nowhere near as graceful as you.
Graceful? I wouldn't say that, but thank you. If I'm to be honest, I'm the one who admires you.
Goodness me? How so?
You're always so put together. You hold yourself with such poise and have such a keen eye for fashion. I mean, even the handkerchief you handed me smells like lavender, is it? It's just lovely.
That perfume is a favorite of mine. I'm so glad you like it.
Even the fact that you thought to put perfume on your handkerchief is delightfully foreign to me.
I'll gladly share some with you. You're welcome to come visit my room whenever you'd like. We can have tea and chat. How does that sound?
That sounds really nice. Yes. Sipping tea and having a chat. It's unlike me, but it sounds lovely.
From now on, we'll meet up whenever we have time. We can go right now if you're free.
Oh, no need to trouble yourself and rearrange things for me.
It's no trouble at all. You'll never know if you're the type who enjoys chatting over tea if you never try.
All right then.
That was quite a sigh. What's wrong, Ingrid?
Tell me, Sylvain, what am I to you?
You're my friend. One of my oldest, in fact.
An old friend, is it? Then why must I clean up the casualties left behind by your skirt chasing?
Nobody asked you to do that. Heck, I thought you enjoyed it. Besides, you're real good at it. I'm excited to continue working with you.
Do you mean to imply you have no intention of acting a bit more respectably?
Please don't yell like that. Everybody's staring at us.
When you were 8, you came on to my sweet, sweet granny. My granny!
Come on. I was 8 and she was That was a long time ago.
Sylvain hit on Ingrid's grandmother? Wow.
People can hear you. Please be quiet.
When you were 10, we went to that harvest festival, and you started making eyes at a scarecrow.
A scarecrow?
Wait a second. That was just an accident. A tragic, tragic accident.
When you were 15, you sought, relentlessly might I add, to involve yourself with Lord Gwendol's daughter. Who do you suppose made peace with the furious Lord despite having nothing to do with it? Me. Always me, always for you. Every time.
What a jerk.
You know what? This conversation is over. I'm done.
My point is that this has to end. Not later, but now.
Fine. I promise I'll try to change. Are you happy now? I'd better avoid the training grounds. I swear His Highness never sleeps.
You're out late, Sylvain. Is it safe to assume you've been wildly carousing with women? I'm afraid that behavior simply will not do.
Ah, Your Highness. Hello. No, I was not wildly carousing with women. There was only the one. Let's just forget you saw me. Agreed?
Unfortunately, I can't do that. It's time someone talked some sense into you. And it seems the task has fallen to me. Sylvain, I'm not saying you can't enjoy yourself at night. But you must learn the art of moderation. Again and again, you end up wandering the streets until the early morning.
Okay, I get it. I don't need one of your lectures. I've got them all memorized anyway. I promise I'll be better in the future. I'll stop going out at night, I'll focus more on my studies, and in return, you'll go into town with me, and we'll invite some cute girls to dinner. Shall we shake on it?
The way your mind works absolutely confounds me. How did you even arrive at such a notion?
You need to get out more. Naive and uptight is no way to live your life.
Naive and uptight? Yes, well, compared to you, I imagine I'm downright run-of-the-mill.
I'm not so sure. Most men are experienced enough to know not to give a dagger to the girl they...
Will you never let that rest? It was many years ago. Perhaps a good knock on the head will help you to finally forget about it.
With your brute strength, a knock on the head could knock the life right out of me. You'd better watch that temper, Your Highness. So how about this? I'll try to behave, and you'll try to loosen up.
If I do as you wish, will you truly promise to improve your behavior?
What'd I just say? Of course I'll behave. A Knight of Fargus never goes back on his word. What about you? I want to see you with a girl on your arm.
I am a man of my word. I will attempt to do as you ask. But you had better uphold your end of the bargain as well.
Seriously? Yeah, I'll believe it when he introduces me to the lucky girl. Oh, Dimitri, you always take even the silliest things so very seriously. This should be fun. Hey Felix, you free? You don't look very busy. Let's go find some girls to chat with.
Chat with them by yourself. You're interrupting my training.
Hey, come on. Don't talk like that. How long have we known each other?
Long enough, if you ask me. We only know each other because of our parents' friendship. I didn't have a say in it.
Is that how it went? Huh. I remember it more like you always following me around. Whenever there was something wrong, like you lost to your brother or you fought with Dimitri, you'd come crying to me. You were so meek and pure back then. Cute even. Like a baby brother.
That's enough.
What?
I said that's enough!
Hey, sorry. I just came to see if you wanted to pick up some girls. I didn't mean to get on your nerves.
Look, you've been getting on my nerves for years. I've tried to be patient with you, but I'm tired of holding my tongue. You're reckless in your personal affairs and in battle, and you're always prattling on about women.
Well, if a man sees a pretty girl, he can't just let her pass by without commenting. That's just rude.
You're insatiable. Do you ever stop? Certainly not to practice your sword technique. You always skip training. And you never consider how your actions hurt others, or how you hold them back.
That's never my intention. Come on, you know me better than that. I'm not really... Look, if that's the impression I've given you, then I'm sorry.
Today's dinner is steak and then a cake that's yummy yum. Now it's time to fill my tummy tummy tum. Oh, this mountain of sweets and treats that I long to eat. Oh, stacks of steaks and cakes and crumbs and yums.
I hope I'm not interrupting.
Felix, you weren't listening, were you?
I heard enough to know that you're hungry.
No, I mean, well, yes. At least tell me you didn't see the dance.
You have nice footwork. Get something to eat. I can take over watering the plants.
You're evil, Felix!
And you're shouting.
You can't just spy on people while they're singing without even saying anything! It's not right!
I actually did call out that I was coming in. It's not my fault you didn't hear.
Well, you need to speak louder then! Ugh, this is so embarrassing. And of course I was singing some silly food song I made up. I should have been singing about bears or swamp beasties.
I didn't realize there were songs about bears and swamp beasties. That food song seemed to be close to your heart. Your stomach isn't far from your heart, after all.
Oh, you are the worst!
Huh. What was that about? I better water these plants. Wouldn't want them to get thirsty, or they might start singing too.
Hey, Annette, hitting the magic books again? Has anyone ever told you that you're pretty cute when you're studying?
Sorry, Sylvain, but I'm trying to think right now. Could you keep quiet for a bit?
How can you stay focused reading a book that thick? With such small print? Is some of that text upside down?
If I use the formula in this line here, the magical energy should... No, that's not right.
You're even cuter when you're working through a difficult problem.
Sylvain, I'm serious. Please be quiet.
Hang on. Look at the third line. You've got the formula wrong.
I said the... Oh, you're right. How did you know that?
Well, I mean, it's written right there.
Most people wouldn't be able to grasp this formula just by glancing at it. Have you read this book before?
Nope, this is the first time. Okay, now that I look at it, wow, this book makes things way more complicated than they need to be.
And what's your take on this part here?
It's just describing another application for the same formula. Ha! This is pretty easy.
You know, you're actually kind of amazing. I've been studying magic for a while now, but even I have trouble with this stuff. You act like all you do is mess around, but are you actually working really hard in secret?
Nah, hanging out with girls is way more fun. I guess I just picked this stuff up somewhere. Life is short, Annette. If you waste it working hard, it'll be over before you know it. Get out in the world. Have some fun.
That's easy for you to say. You're strong and smart without even trying. It's not fair. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude.
No, I was just thinking you're pretty cute when you're sulking. You know that?
What is wrong with you?
Hey, I just got lucky with that stuff in the book. I'd normally never be able to outsmart you. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here and leave you to it.
Got lucky, huh? I'm not so sure about that. Well, that does it. It might be tough, but I won't accept second place. Let's go, me. I can do this. I'm gonna finish this whole book before sundown. That looks delicious. Goddess forgive me, I've just got to indulge.
I appreciate any good meal, but nothing beats enjoying my favorite food.
So, I could do this, but I don't really want to give myself the benefit of having these stat buffs. Mostly just to make the game a little bit more interesting and harder. So that's why I've avoided doing the cooking so far.
Yep.
So I guess what I should do with the rest of this time is some kind of training for the professor. I guess Seth teaches lances. So he might be a decent choice.
Captain Gerald was all furrowed brow earlier. Do you know what's got him so concerned? If there's a problem, I want to help any way I can. I did, but he just dodged the question. Still, it's worrying to see him like that.
How are you managing the Sword of the Creator? No problems? I hope you have not left it lying somewhere unattended or anything foolish like that. You will need the sword's power on your next mission. I trust you will handle it without much issue.
So the XP bonus for this only being +1 is only a 5% increase, but if it works for student instruction, it'll actually be a pretty sizable buff.
I am trusting you. You must be rather bewildered. However, know that you will most certainly.
Hi.
Maybe. The assassination attempt on Lady Rhea, the theft of a hero's relic. I am up to my ears in foul news of recent. Speaking of, there's a terrifying rumor swirling around Garreg Mach these days. Apparently, a spirit of death wielding a huge scythe has been kidnapping young maidens. Will the madness never end?
I think Gilbert. Oh.
I have a request. I may have slowed a step in recent years.
Yeah, so here the base is 4 and the bonus is 1, which is a 25% buff to experience gained from the statue, which is much more sizable than if the base was much higher. Hopefully it applies repeatedly.
That was challenging.
Looks like it does.
I appreciate.
Hey, that was useful. Hey.
You're making me blush.
Quite intriguing. Thank you.
I have a question. What a wonderful idea!
Let us finish this quickly.
Right. No time to lose. We did well enough.
Each new experience is an asset.
So, dexterity plus 4 will give a small hit rate bonus. It's nothing too bad at this point in the game because there's not a very high opportunity cost. But it's nice to have a small buff, I suppose.
I've deepened my understanding.
Lancebreaker. Now that's going to be an interesting one, because that means that I go up against lances with the dew and everything goes much, much better.
I've got it.
If he draws a new art, I'll have to see what it does. From the sound of it, heavy drop probably is a serious might increase. I'm going to swap out sword prowess since I don't usually use swords for the dexterity bonus. Yeah, heavy draw just does way more damage. It's just an upgraded version of, well, Wrath Strike is only for swords, so I guess it's sort of the analog to Wrath Strike for bows. So no one is ready to reach level 10 and go into an intermediate class quite yet, but after this next battle, probably Dimitri and Ingrid should be able to, and he'd probably sneak Byleth in too. If I'm really lucky, I might be able to get some of these characters up there as well. So we don't have very good motivation. Resting might be a good idea. We can only get 3 people to attend each of these seminars, so we won't get very much motivation. I think I'm going to try resting. So I should check to see if I can do 2 battles first. Nope, only 1. So I'll rest, and then next week I will do one of these quest battles, and the following one I will do the main storyline battle. Yeah, so resting gave us a whole bunch of motivation that we can capitalize on. So she gets restored
This
now.
isn't so hard.
We haven't seen any enemies that give status debuffs, so hopefully we don't for a while. And if they do appear, they don't chain infinitely. But we do now have an answer for it, which is a good thing.
No. No. I learned a... Yes!
So if I can get Sylvain Ingrid up to B rank X's, I think they'll get Lancebreaker too. Should make things a little bit easier. primarily because it gives accuracy bonus to your attacks against lances. Can I check stats in here? Yeah. So hit plus 20, even if it is conditional, is usually going to be enough to put you over the top and get up to 100% chance of hitting against neutral terrain enemies. Against enemies that are, in advantageous terrain. In this game, with 30 avoid and 40 avoid on some of them, it helps close the gap, but doesn't quite get you there.
Professor.
Thanks.
Here's the result.
I'm really getting the hang of this.
Okay, so Vayne has Lancebreaker now, so that's good.
Haha, I'm starting to get it.
What spell? Did she learn anything? Nope, just... Alright, so it's time to do a battle for this quest line. I think the merchant one probably unlocks something. At least it sounds like it does, like a new item in the store or maybe a new shop or something. Whereas this maintaining your training one, I don't see any obvious rewards, so I'm going to go with clearing the way. That'll be all for this one. In the next one, we'll do this auxiliary battle.